Yes, we could see that Bitcoin pumped all the way to the levels of $18,400 exactly where I had my resistance line, and like I told you in my previous video that this is most likely going to be our price target. But guys, at the moment this is a no trade area. Why? Because we're going to get the CPI release in about an hour's time, so we're going to see a massive volatility in the market, so we could expect a massive dump followed by a massive pump, or even we're going to see a fake out and then a breakout in the opposite direction. But guys, at the moment we're not going to trade any of the assets, and that's why we're going to stay out of the markets, and we're just going to be prepared for the next move for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you want to trade all of these moves, make sure to watch the video until the end. Smash up the like button and subscribe, and make sure to activate the bell so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. And we're going to start on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Guys, we're not going to lose any time. So what is going to happen? First of all, we're going to look at our next resistance area, and that would be all the way at the levels of $19,000. But we can see that on the way we have this downward sloping trend round about the levels of 18,650. So guys, this would be our next price target if we're going to see a further break towards the upside, and the next price target at $19,000. So these levels are going to be our next price target, and also I think that we're going to get a lot of resistance in these areas. So we could expect that the markets will see a consolidation, and guys, we can get two types of consolidation, and that means over time or over the price. Over time would mean that we would consolidate in these areas until the moving averages will come up a little bit. But if we're going to consolidate over the price, this means that we are going to see a dump towards the downside, maybe to the levels of $17,500, and then we're going to see that the price will consolidate and move further up. Because guys, it's very obvious we have went too high too fast, and this means that we must see a consolidation. Either we're going to see it in these regions, when we're going to get the CPI release, that we're going to see a small dump all the way to the levels of $18,000, where we can see we had some resistance which now turned into support. So guys, this would be our first price target if we're going to dump from these levels towards the downside, and the next price target would be all the way down here at the $17,500. But guys, we could also expect that the price of Bitcoin will come all the way back down where it has started from this breakout. At the moment it looks quite bullish for Bitcoin, and maybe we're going to consolidate in this range until we're going to see a further move up. And this would be our area where we would find a pattern to open the next trade for Bitcoin. So this means we're not going to trade this event of the CPI release. We're also going to look at all the data that is going to be released and the forecast from today. So let's go down on the lower time frames of Bitcoin so that we can see what is happening on the lower time frames and what is going to happen in the immediate short term. So guys, let me just remove all these drawings, and then we can see, yes, we had this perfect trade for Bitcoin, which we entered at the levels of $17,250, and we took it all the way up to the levels of $17,600, where we perfectly hit our price target, and also we made some nice profits on this trade. You can see from the time we have entered the trade, we didn't turn negative on this trade, and that is quite good because this was a perfect trade. And guys, if you want to trade my trades, go over in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group. And if you want to trade all of my moves, make sure to sign up to BitGet, where you receive a major deposit bonus of $5,000. So guys, sign up exactly now. So guys, the best case scenario that we could see for Bitcoin and also Ethereum, so the best situation would be if we're going to see a consolidation in between this resistance and support for Bitcoin, round about between the levels of 18,000 and all the way up to $18,400, and this would be the best to open the next long position on Bitcoin. But guys, definitely if we're going to see this dump towards the downside, we could expect maybe a small bounce, and if we're going to see a massive rejection from these levels, we could also open a short with the first price target, these levels at $17,500, and then the second take profit all the way at the levels of $16,800. But guys, if we're going to see a dump all the way to these levels, would this mean that we're going to see lower prices? No guys, we saw this massive move and we have to consolidate. And guys, we're going to go over to Ethereum, but before we're going to go over, I want to remind you guys, if you're interested in crypto clothing, go check out Crypto Clothing on Instagram. They'll also be launching the website very soon. So guys, stay tuned and follow them over on Instagram. So over on Ethereum, we can see that yes, we have broken this downward sloping trend line towards the upside, but at the moment we are getting some massive resistance in these areas of $1,400 for Ethereum. And guys, you can see that this was also my resistance line that we drew in exactly at these levels. And we are there at the moment. So guys, what could we expect? If we're going to see a small dump towards these levels of 1,350, we could expect the same for Bitcoin, that we're going to see a consolidation in these areas. And this would be the best opportunity to enter any long of the breakout from this pattern. But guys, we could also expect that Ethereum will come all the way down to these levels where we have this upward sloping trend of 1,250. But guys, this wouldn't be the end of the world, because this would still be a higher low for Ethereum. But guys, if we're going to see a breakout towards the upside, we're going to find out what would our price targets be if we're going to get this positive move. And yes, first of all, our resistance would be all the way up here, perfectly at the levels of $1,500 for Ethereum. So we could expect, if we're going to see this break of this trend line, that this would be our first price target. But if we're going to see the dump, this will be first price target, second and third. So guys, yes, this could be a perfect trade setup. But guys, during the CPI release, we could see a massive volatility going up and down, breakout after fakeout. Guys, that's why we shouldn't trade this scenario, and that's why we are staying out of the markets. But guys, we're going to go over and we're going to look at the CPI numbers, what we could expect within the next hour. Remember, if you want to trade all of these moves, make sure to sign up first to my free Telegram group so that you can copy all of my trades, and sign up to BitGet, where you receive a major deposit bonus of $5,000 if you deposit your crypto and if you sign up with my link. So do it exactly now. So guys, we're going to go over to the CPI release so that we can find out what we can expect. First of all, our previous reading was at 7.1 and now the forecast is at 6.5. So guys, if we're going to get a 6.5, we could expect that the news will be neutral and that we're going to see a consolidation, and that the price maybe will see a lot of volatility, but that it will stay at the same level. But guys, if we're going to get a higher inflation, this would mean that we could see a massive dump. But guys, remember, CPI is also called CPI. So don't trust the inflation numbers. Yes, maybe the inflation data is going to be bad, but first of all, Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation, and Bitcoin will maybe dump towards the downside. We are at the bottom and we're going to see much higher price targets for Bitcoin in the immediate short term. But guys, if we're going to get a lower inflation rate, we could expect that the markets will pump like crazy and that we're going to reach our $20,000 maybe by tomorrow. So guys, if you always want to stay up to date, make sure to follow my free Telegram group and sign up to my BitGet link to receive a massive deposit bonus. And guys, it is very important to be for crypto, because you don't want to be holding dollars, you want to be holding Bitcoin. So guys, please stay safe and don't trade this scenario, and we're going to find the next setup. So make sure to be in my group, and we see each other in the next video.